Hi everyone, welcome back to another lesson. We're just going to change our multi-select for our tags in this episode. So basically just a short lesson. We're going to do the edit and the update in the next one. Now the reason for this is because for people that don't know JavaScript, the previous version will be a kind of very difficult to work with, especially if you want to make some custom changes and things like that. So I decided just to update it to a choices.js library. So if we go to our views, dashboard.post.create, you remember we had our tailwind component that we done our select for, but we're just going to change this to the choice.select. Okay, so this one we're just going to delete it from here. Okay, so let's go to our browser and actually get ready to install that library. Okay, so let's go to our browser. Okay, so you're just going to type in choices.js. All right, now we need to go to Johnson choices, the vanilla JS customizable select. Okay, so we're just going to go to his getup. Okay, so I've made it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If we're going to go down, you will see the installation. We're going to use npm, not the CDN for delivery, but I will show you now. Let's just copy the npm, all right, and go back to VS Code. Right, so what we're going to do is on our terminal, we're just going to copy and paste that in. So npm install choices.js. All right, so while that is installing, it will be quick, I think. Let's hope so. All right, that's done. Okay, so once that's done, let me just make it. Once it's completed, you can see mine is done. We can just close it off and actually just go to your public folder under CSS. Okay, create a new file called choices.css. Now, I don't want to bring in the CDN library because let's say you want to customize how it looks like. Then you can actually do it in here. But we're going to copy from the CDN. So let's go back to our browser quickly. Now, as you can see, we've got a CDN right here. Just click on it. Okay. It will open this right here. Now, then you go choices.cs. Just go to public. Okay. Assets. Then you will see styles. Okay. Then click on styles. And you will see if you don't want to customize how it looks like. Okay. Choose the minified version, okay? But if you want it to look like, let's say you got a different theme, how things look like, then just choose the choices.css, okay? Then just copy everything inside it from the top to the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to do Control A so to select all of it. Let's go back to VS Code. Okay, and then we just paste it in here. Now the best part of this way is if you want to change the colors and things like that, you can do it in your CSS style. As you can see, the background colors and things like that, you can do it all in here. That's why I wanted to choose this one, because not every theme is going to look the same, so that you actually want to change it to fit your theme. Okay, that's why I've chosen this route to do our CSS. Okay, then obviously we have to include our CSS in our app file. Okay, so let's do that. Let's close this. So under our layouts, you guys remember we had the app right there. Okay, so then we click on app. Now the thing is, what we want to do is we actually want to import that script, that style sheet. Okay, so right here, and just change it, mine from min, I just change it to choices.css, because it's basically in the CSS folder, .choices.css. Okay, so link it up there as well. All right, now comes the JavaScript part. Okay, so if we go to our resources js.app.js, you remember that we installed the npm install choices. So basically what we want to do is we want to import choices from choices.js. Okay, so that's what we want to do. Okay, now the next part is, now we're going to create now our multi-select. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like window. Let's just make a comment here. Create multi-select. Okay, element, just like this. Right, then we're going to say on the window object dot choices. Choices, okay, equals to, this is just a JavaScript function syntax. So the ES6, okay, so element, okay, and then we do an arrow function. Okay, so in here we're just going to return a new choices, right? Basically this choices right there. We're just going to return a new choices. Okay, then we're going to add our element in there. Just copy this, and then we're just going to open and close. Have those brackets. Now the thing is, what we want to do is we want to do a max item count. Okay, so as you can see, the property actually brings it in for us, right? The max item count, basically what is the maximum amount of tags you want to be chosen. For me, I'm just going to choose 4. Okay, so just to kind of limit how many tags, so I'm just going to choose 4 tags. It's the maximum. And then we can just going to remove item button. Okay, and we're just going to set that to true. Okay, now this all comes in the documentation. Now I just don't need to do this. Just save it. I already closed it off there. All right, so this is now we're all done basically with our CSS setup, and we set up our choices. Okay, our JavaScript file. Now the next part is we need to actually run and compile all of this. So basically what happens now is it will be compiled into our JavaScript app file right here. Okay, so it will just compile our, because right now, as you can see, it compiled Alpine.js. Now it will just compile this as well to include it in our main app file as well. Okay, so let's do that. Now basically what I've done is I've just done more or less the same thing as what they've done in the documentation under setup. Okay, so as you can see, they use the element, but I just want to show you some of the properties that is in here as well. Okay, let's just, right, so they got a couple of number of things in here. So they got add items, remove items. Okay, and they got max item count, all that kind of stuff in here. So if you want to read more about it, in this case, add item filter, you can just come and read it in here. Okay, so with that done, so basically if you've done all of this, we almost done. So if we just go now, we just go npm run dev just to compile basically our JavaScript. So if we do that, just going to compile it quickly for us. Let me just press enter. Okay, now it's just compiling. Okay, so now it's all done. So let me just close this off. Okay, so now it's all compiled. Now we can use it. Okay, so now all you do now is you just close your app.js file, and now in our public folder .js under our app file, it's actually included in here now. All right, so let's just make sure you link your style.css. All right, our JavaScript app file is already included. No, we don't need to do that. I was just playing around earlier with the choices. That's why I put the min in there. But I was thinking, now let me just compile everything into one. So we got our app.js file in there as well. Right. So that's the best option. All right. So now under our create, we need to create a new tags, basically. Now you will see this is much easier to do actually. So let's get started here. So we need to create obviously a label. Okay, so we can, let's create a div first. Inside the div, we need to create a label. Okay, so you can copy. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Like this, come on, like this. Just give us some space. I just add a label in here. All right, and then we're going to add a select like this. Right, under the name, let me just check. Under the name, just open it up there. Okay, so we're going to add obviously our options, but the name actually just going to be tags with an array. So that will actually select all the tags. Okay. Now the next part will be, we need to add some Alpine.js stuff in here as well. So we can do multiple. Now this is just, and then we add X data. This is Alpine.js equal to just an empty brackets. Now X init will actually call in our choices function. Okay, so let's just do it like this, like function, and I don't need to do that. Choices, come on, if I can spell choices dot element, right? Now it just kind of formats everything. So basically we got our select, we got our name in there. Just want to make sure everything works right. So let me just do this for tags like this. Right, so we got our name, select tags. Okay, so we got our multiple because we want to select multiple. We got our ID. We can just let's do create tags. No, let's just do post. Sorry. So if you want to style it, okay, and choices. Okay, so that's all done. Just making sure everything is in there. All right, the next part we're going to do is options. All right, the value will obviously be select a tag. Select tags. You know what? We don't even need to do that. We can actually do a for each in here. For each tags, you remember the variable, okay, as tag. And then we put this in there. Okay, so we're gonna, now in here is going to be the tag ID. And this is going to be the tag dot name. Okay, so that is basically all of it. Right, so let's see how this looks like compared to against our previous one. So let's open that. Now basically what we've done is this, in the previous one we had to add all of this plus everything else. Now all of that is actually basically in the choices library. So it actually neats up our code and we can actually understand what is going on. Right, so obviously with this we don't need to change, we need to actually change our controller now. So PostController, when we select the tags, we don't need to implode this anymore. So we can delete that. And all we have to do is we're just going to do the request dot tags. Okay, so basically that we just basically sync the tags from that because we don't need to implode it or anything like that. So with that is all done. Right, so let's quickly see if that select tags is working in our browser. So if we go to create, hopefully no errors. And if we do a select, as you can see, we got our items right there. Now the reason for the CSS, that's why I wanted to show you that, because as you can see, it kind of gives it this indigo color, not indigo, turquoise color. And if you want to style it, you can actually do that as well. So that's why, because our theme is kind of indigo-ish and this kind of look very turquoise-ish. So if we want to change that, you can change it in your in your choices.css. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I know this is just a little short video just to kind of fix this. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section. I will see if I can help you out. And yes, I will obviously provide the link to this GitHub link to Johnson's Choices just in the description below, so that you guys can quickly and easily get it, as well as the CDN. I think I'll just copy both of them for you in the comment section. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you don't like it, obviously give it a thumbs down. Thank you guys for watching and appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one where we're going to do the edit and update one as well. All right, so that will also be shorter videos. And yes, thank you guys. Goodbye.